Ellen Burstyn, born Edna Ray Gillooly, December 7, 1932, is an American actress. Her career began in theater during the late 1950s, and over the next decade included several films and television series. Burstyn's performance in the acclaimed 1971 ensemble drama The Last Picture Show brought her first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress nomination, after which she moved from supporting to leading film and stage roles. Burstyn received a second Academy Award nomination for her lead performance in The Exorcist, 1973, and won the Academy Award for Best Actress the following year for her work in Martin Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. In 1975, she won the Tony Award for her lead performance in the Broadway production of Same Time, Next Year, and received a Golden Globe Award and a fourth Academy Award nomination for her performance in the 1978 film version of the play. Burstyn has worked consistently in film, television and theater since, receiving multiple awards and nominations along the way, including 7 additional Golden Globe Award nominations, 5 Emmy Award nominations, 2 wins, and 2 more Academy Award for Best Actress nominations for her performances in the films Resurrection, 1980, and Requiem for a Dream, 2000. Burstyn is one of the very few performers to have won the Triple Crown of Acting. In 2013, she was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame. Early life. Burstyn was born Edna Ray Gillooly in Detroit, Michigan, the daughter of Corinne Marie, née Hamill, and John Austin Gillooly. She has described her ancestry as Irish, French, Pennsylvania Dutch, a little Canadian Indian. Burstyn has an older brother, Jack, and a younger brother, Steve. Her parents divorced when she was young and she and her brother lived with her mother and her stepfather. She attended Cass Technical High School, a university preparatory school which allowed students to choose a specific field of study. Burstyn majored in fashion illustration. In high school, she was a cheerleader, a member of the student council and was president of her junior class. She dropped out of high school during her senior year after failing her classes. After dropping out of school, Burstyn got a job as a model in a Detroit department store. She later relocated to Dallas where she continued modeling before traveling to New York. From 1955 to 1956, Burstyn appeared as an Away We Go dancing girl on the Jackie Gleason show under the name Erica Dean. Burstyn then decided to become an actress and chose the name Ellen McRae as her professional name. She would later change her surname after her 1964 marriage to Neil Burstyn. Career. Early years. Burstyn debuted on Broadway in 1957 and joined Lee Strasberg's The Actors Studio in New York City, New York, in 1967. In 1975, she won a Tony Award for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Play for her performance in the comedy Same Time, Next Year, a role she would reprise in the film version in 1978. Starting in the late 1950s and continuing throughout the 1960s, Burstyn frequently played guest roles on a number of primetime television shows, including Drive, Kildare, 77 Sunset Strip, Ben Casey, Gunsmoke, Perry Mason, Wagon Train, The Big Valley, and The Virginian. During 1964-1965, she had a recurring role as Dr. Kate Bartok on the NBC daytime television soap opera The Doctors. In 1967-1968, she co-starred as Julie Parsons opposite Dale Robertson in the ABC Western The Iron Horse. She was credited as Ellen McRae until 1967, when she and her then-husband Neil Nephew both changed their surname to Burstyn and she began to be credited as Ellen Burstyn. 1970s-1980s. In 1971, Burstyn received Academy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actress for her role in the drama film The Last Picture Show and for Best Actress in 1973 for the horror film The Exorcist. During the filming of The Exorcist, she injured her coccyx, which led to permanent injury to her spine. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1974 for her performance in the drama Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, directed by Martin Scorsese. She also received Best Actress nominations in 1978 for Same Time, Next Year, in 1980 for the drama Resurrection, and for the drama Requiem for a Dream in 2000. In 1977, she was a member of the jury at the 27th Berlin International Film Festival and in 1988, she was a member of the jury for the 38th Berlin International Film Festival. Burstyn hosted NBC's Saturday Night Live, a late-night sketch comedy and variety show, in December 1980. In 1986, Burstyn starred in her own ABC television situation comedy, The Ellen Burstyn Show, co-starring Megan Mullally as her daughter and Elaine Stritch as her mother. It was cancelled after one season. 1990s present. In 1990, she won the Sarah Siddons Award for her work in Chicago theater. From 2000 to 2002, Burstyn appeared in the CBS television drama That's Life. In January 2006, she starred as an Episcopalian bishop in the NBC comedy drama series The Book of Daniel. The series, which also starred Aidan Quinn as a drug-addicted Episcopalian Episcopalian priest married to an alcoholic wife, was met with controversy from religious and spiritual leaders due to its unconventional portrayals of religious figures. Conservative groups including American Family Association and Focus on the Family urged supporters to complain to NBC affiliates that carried the show. NBC pulled the series from its lineup after 4 episodes but did not publicly give a reason for doing so. In 2006, Burstyn appeared in the drama romance film The Fountain, directed by Darren Aronofsky, with whom she worked in Requiem for a Dream. Since 2007, she has had an occasional recurring role on the HBO television drama series Big Love, playing the mother of polygamist wife Barbara Henriksen. She provided a supporting role as the mother of 2 sons in the drama romance film The Elephant King. The film originally premiered at the 2006 Tribeca Film Festival but did not open in U.S. theaters until October 2008. Burstyn starred in the Broadway production of Martin Toss's Oldest Living Confederate Widow Tells All, based upon the novel of the same title by Alan Gurganus. The show played 19 previews and officially opened November 17, 2003. Because of unfavorable reviews, all performances after the opening night were cancelled. Burstyn returned to the stage in March 2008, in the off-Broadway production of Stephen Adly Gorgeous's The Little Flower of East Orange, directed by Philip Seymour Hoffman in a co-production by Labyrinth Theatre Company and the Public Theatre. In addition to her stage work, Burstyn portrayed former First Lady Barbara Bush in director Oliver Stone's biographical film W in 2008. In 2009, she won a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series for her portrayal of the bipolar estranged mother of Detective Elliot Stabler on NBC's police procedural Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. In 2014, Burstyn appeared in Christopher Nolan's sci-fi epic Interstellar. She had played Mackenzie Foy's character's grandmother in Wish You Well the previous year, and both actresses portrayed Murph Cooper, albeit at radically different ages. In Interstellar, Burstyn played Fleming, the daughter of Blake Lively's immortal character, in the film The Age of Adeline. Production started in March 2014, and the film was released in April 2015. Emmy Awards and controversy. Burstyn was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Actress in a Miniseries or Movie, for her role as John Harris in the biographical television film The People vs. John Harris, 1981, and again for another television drama film, Pack of Lies, 1987, an adaptation of the 1983 play. In 2006, she was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Miniseries or Movie for a role credited as former Tarnower Steady in HBO's biographical television film Mrs. Harris. She had played John Harris in The People vs. John Harris. Soon after the nominations were announced, an outcry ensued from the press and the public regarding the worthiness of the nomination due to her minor role in the film, consisting of 14 seconds of screen time and 38 words of dialogue. One explanation for the nomination was that people were honoring Burstyn for her nominated but non-winning performance in the first Harris television film. A more popular accusation was that the nominating committee was either confused in its recollection, or merely threw in her name from sheer recognition, assuming a worthy performance without actually seeing it. The Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, administrator of the Primetime Emmy Awards, initially insisted that based on the popular vote, this is a legitimate nomination. Meanwhile, HBO deflected the blame for submitting the nomination to the movie production company. Burstyn's own reaction ranged from initial silence to comments such as, "I thought it was fabulous. My next ambition is to get nominated for 7 seconds, and ultimately I want to be nominated for a picture in which I don't even appear, and this doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't even want to know about this. You people work it out yourself." Ultimately, Kelly MacDonald, who starred in The Girl in the Cafe, won the award. In March 2007, the Academy officially announced that eligibility for a Primetime Emmy Award in any long-form supporting actor category required nominees to appear on screen in at least 5% of the project. Many critics still cite this incident to criticize the Emmy Award nomination process, claiming that name recognition has played an increasingly visible role over the years. In 2013, she won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Miniseries or a Movie for Political Animals, and referenced the controversy in her acceptance speech. Other activities. During the 1970s, Burstyn was active in the movement to free convicted boxer Reuben Hurricane Carter from jail. In 1981, Burstyn recorded The Ballad of the Nazi Soldier's Wife. Kurt Weill's musical setting of Bertolt Brecht's Textant was Beckham des Soldaten Weib, and What Did the Soldier's Woman Get? For Ben Bagley's album Kurt Weill Revisited, Volume 2. Burstyn served as president of the Actors Equity Association from 1982 to 1985. In 1997, Burstyn was inducted into the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame. In 2000, she was named co-president of the Actors Studio, alongside Al Pacino and Harvey Keitel. She is a longtime supporter of the Democratic Party and in the documentary Pollywood, attends several political events of the 2008 election campaign as a supporter of Barack Obama, commenting sadly at one point how civil competition between Democrats and Republicans no longer exists. Burstyn is on the board of selectors of Jefferson Awards for Public Service. Personal life, marriages and children. In 1950, she married Bill Alexander, but they divorced in 1957. The following year, she married Paul Roberts, with whom she adopted a son named Jefferson in 1961. The couple divorced that same year. In 1964, she married fellow actor Neil Nephew, who later changed his name to Neil Burstyn, but the union was turbulent. Neil Burstyn was schizophrenic, he would have episodes of violence, and eventually left her. He attempted to reconcile, but she rejected this, ultimately divorcing him in 1972. In her autobiography, Lessons in Becoming Myself, Burstyn revealed that he stalked her for a period of 6 years after their divorce. He eventually broke into her house and raped her, but no charges were filed, as spousal rape was not yet legally a crime. He died by suicide in 1978. Religion. Burstyn was raised Catholic but now affiliates herself to all religious faiths. Her spiritual journey began with Sufi Islam. She explains, "I am a spirit opening to the truth that lives in all of these religions. I always pray to spirit, but sometimes it's to the goddess. Sometimes it's to Jesus. Sometimes I pray to Ganesha if I need an obstacle removed. Kuan Yin is one of my favorite manifestations of the divine, the embodiment of compassion, so I have Kuan Yin with me all the time." Burstyn has stated that in her late 30s she began to delve into the spiritual realm, coming under the tutelage of Sufi Muslim teacher Pir Vilayat Inayat Khan. He gave her the spiritual name Hadia, which means she who guides in Arabic. Filmography. Film, television, selective.